Well, it looks fine from afar, right? Then you get closer and you notice this, and this, 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 and this. So first of all, let me explain why this is blue underneath. Because I don't think I ever told you guys, but what happened last year is I backed into the scooter with my truck. So that mudguard is actually a replacement, which was blue in color, and I had painted it. But after my little crash the other day, obviously it took the paint off, so I'm gonna have to try to fix that up. But let me explain what happened with that. So last year it was dark. I had the truck cap on the back of the truck, and you can see it's got tinted windows. Yeah, it was dark, and I had completely forgot about the fact that I had the scooter parked right here. I was backing down the driveway slowly. That's one thing I had going for me. And started turning in here, you know, completely forgot the scooter was there. Also couldn't really see that well. And I heard what sounded like plastic breaking. So I stopped and got out and realized I had hit pretty much like right here on the mudguard, the other mudguard, with my bumper, I guess, my back bumper. And it had completely broke a piece off over here. It crumpled up, and it actually, you can see there's a tiny bit of damage there from where it pushed and broke. But that was the only damage done. Actually, the whole scooter just stayed on the kickstand and moved backward about a foot. And really, that was the only damage done. But I'll try to insert a clip here of what the old mudguard looked like before I first attempted to fix it, which didn't end up working for me either. So I've Gorilla Glued this piece back in, and then you can see this whole thing cracked from here all the way up, all the way around, basically to this hole where the brake cable to the front tire goes through. So yeah, it was almost completely broken apart. It's just this part is all completely attached. So I Gorilla Glued, well, sealed it all with Gorilla Glue. And then once it dried and cured, I went in all of the edges. I just went along the outside, just to make sure there were no, you couldn't feel any dips. Seal it all completely. And then I did the same for the inside as well. I went along all the edges. There's still a little bit of a crack there, but I think it'll work. It's pretty tough. I mean, I can push on it, and dirt everywhere. I can push on it, and it's... So I guess, as you could see, that ended up not working. It ended up breaking. You know, the Gorilla Glue didn't hold, and it seemed to hold well until, you know, we were putting this thing up on a stand of some sort, and somebody had reached their arms around this to get a better hold of the forks, I guess, here. And their arms just kind of squeezed this too tight, and the Gorilla Glue broke. So I just ended up buying a replacement. The only thing is, it's a pain. It's kind of a pain to replace because you have to take the whole wheel off. And the brake line goes through a hole underneath of this thing. So you have to take the brake line off of the caliper, and then of course you're stuck bleeding the brakes and all that when you need to put it all back together. So to paint this, I'm not actually going to take this thing off to do it. It's just too much of a hassle. So I'm probably just gonna like lay a towel here and lay a towel over here and just kind of spray this over and hope for the best, I guess. But yeah, so I'll explain what happened. But I had actually dropped this before too on this side. I was trying to pick it up and put it on a stand by myself, and it fell over and landed right on the throttle. So you can see it's punched out a little bit. You might not be able to see it because of the sun, but that happened, and I got a couple, I think just that little scuff there, which, yeah, you can see that happened when it fell. Thankfully I didn't have this thing on, but yeah, the scooter was actually dropped once before, before I had even purchased it from a previous owner. So you can see it's got scuff marks here. This actually covered up pretty well when I painted it, but there was one here as well. And scuff marks on this side of the case too. So then my little crash the other day kind of, you know, made the other side match, I guess, with the new scuff marks all over the place. The crack here in the floorboard, which is probably the worst of it. So actually I think I'm pretty lucky considering what happened, that's all the damage that was done. And then of course I scraped up, might be able to see better here, scraped up this side of the case and everything too. But yeah, so, oh, and here, I don't think I showed you that. That's all scraped to hell. It's hard to see with the sun, the shadows of everything. There we go. Yeah, and also it's loose down here now because one of the pegs inside of this thing holding it on broke. So, but that's why we buy used scooters and not new scooters, because I'm a total newbie and I'm learning. So, I mean, I dropped it a few times already. Had a little bit of a crash with it the other day, so if this were a brand new scooter, I'd really be disappointed. So, you know, you gotta be glad that you buy used things, I guess, to learn on. Anyway, to explain what happened, I did something really stupid. And I have no idea, looking back, what in the hell I was thinking, I guess. I guess shit happens. But anyway, I had this thing running, and I got off of it to inspect something. I was turning it actually back into this parking space that I have it in. And I thought I could hear, by turning the wheel, I thought I could hear the mudguard hitting here somewhere. So I kind of got out to inspect it, or got off of it to inspect it, but I left the scooter running while I did it. And to hold it up, I held it up by the hand grips over here. Well, this is the throttle. So when I bent down to look at what was going on here, my hand twisted the throttle, and then it started lunging forward, and I was bent down, so I couldn't really do a whole lot. And the more it lunged forward, the more my hand twisted the throttle. So I had to let the thing go. I didn't really have a choice at that point, I didn't feel. So anyway, I was over here when it happened, and I don't know, you could see the marks in the driveway from where it took off on me, but it ended up landing over here right next to these pallets laying here. And so I guess I'm kind of lucky that that's all the damage that was done, is a few scuffs and scrapes and a couple small cracks. Really, that's the worst of it. I had several pieces of gravel that kind of lunged in there. There's a rock right there I still have to get out, but hopefully there's none inside that are going to rattle around, but I'll have to try to take that part of the floorboards off maybe to check, or just drive it and see. But yeah, so that's my latest drama with my poor little scooter. Anyway, it could have been way worse, so I'm not really sure how I'm going to try to fix this just yet. But this isn't a big deal. I can just take some sandpaper, smooth it down, and repaint here. And also repaint this here that's showing the blue through. But yeah, honestly, I would say I got pretty lucky, as upset as I was over the whole thing. I mean, my mirrors could have smashed off. They did completely turn in, and when I got, you know, off the ground and looked at it and it was laying on its side and the mirrors were turned in, I thought, oh no, it's a wreck. But, you know, no big plastic pieces broke out of it or anything, so really I could say that I'm lucky, I guess. And I guess I'm glad that I let go, because either it was gonna drag me or it was gonna run over me. So I did what I had to do. But anyway, I'll keep you as updated as I try and fix this poor little puppy up. Thanks for watching, guys.